So lately I have found, not lately, I mean all the time, but I've particularly noticed it lately, that amongst feminists and radical feminists, women who call themselves feminists, I have noticed a lot of pushback at the concept of having expectations for feminist women in the ways in which they conduct themselves in their lives. I've noticed pushback um, against radical feminists who have criticisms for and about other women. And I think that is something that's really holding feminism back. This idea that women are beyond critique because of patriarchy, I guess, which I don't really understand. Um, Specifically, this came up in a discussion about women performing femininity and being feminine, um, and how it's weird to hold femme lesbians accountable or saying that they're responsible for upholding patriarchy, because I don't know why. Because if you are engaging in patriarchal practices, whether you're a lesbian or not, you're engaging in patriarchal practices. And further, like, it particularly concerns me that lesbian women participate in these patriarchal behaviors and practices. In some ways, I can understand a male attracted woman who performs femininity and engages in patriarchal behavior because she wants to attract men and she wants to partner with a man. So, though I disagree with doing those things, I do understand why a male attracted woman would do them, because she wants to attract a man. But when it comes to lesbians engaging in patriarchal beauty and femininity and other behaviors, that really makes no sense to me. And you always hear the discussion that femmes are doing it for other women. Okay. But if it weren't for patriarchal concepts of beauty and femininity in the first place, femme lesbians wouldn't be doing those things. And people will always say, like, femme femininity is different than straight woman femininity. But I see all of the same lipstick, red like the blood of your enemies, and eyeliner sharp enough to kill a man, and high heel warrior shoes, you know, whether it's a straight woman or a femme lesbian. So, makes little sense to me. And yeah, I don't like the idea that in radical feminist spaces, critique of women's behaviors is somehow taboo. Or one argument I always hear is that we should be focusing on men's behavior, or criticizing men's behavior. And it's like, women have been doing that for tens of thousands of years. Where has that gotten us? Women have been critiquing men, calling out men, fighting back against men, for thousands and thousands of years, have been asking men to change, have been encouraging men to change their ways for thousands of years. And where has that gotten women? So why not change from within? Why not change ourselves to separate from patriarchy? We've been after men to do it for thousands of years, and it hasn't happened. It's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. Call me pessimistic, but I have no faith whatsoever that in my lifetime we'll see any kind of a radical change in patriarchy, because we have tens of thousands of years of history showing that it isn't going to change. So I do focus my energy onto fellow women and getting women out of patriarchy and participating in it. Yeah, I will critique women who perform femininity. Yes, I will critique women who engage in patriarchal games like, performing not femininity in the physical appearance sense, but in the capitulating to men, playing along with their jokes and their games, the behaviors. We can't change men. We're not going to ever change men. And as lesbians, why would we bother focusing on men? So it makes no sense to me. I believe, I am confident enough to say I know that women's lives and women's futures are only going to change if women start changing themselves. If women stop engaging in patriarchy, stop performing for men, whether you're male attracted or not, which still makes no sense to me, but whatever. So yeah, I do and I will hold my sisters accountable for their behavior, especially if they are lesbians and consider themselves radical feminists. As radical feminists, we should know better and be able to do better. Radical feminism is about deep personal analysis and deep personal change once you've internalized that analysis. So yeah, I do have higher standards for lesbians and for women who call themselves radical feminists. You can't just talk the talk. You have to walk the walk. There are practices that you need to put into your real life. It's hypocritical to call oneself a radical feminist and still participate in all of the patriarchal bullshit. I'm getting frustrated and now I'm rambling, but yeah, I don't think that women or lesbians or other radical feminists are in any way above critique. When I see things that are like, so you're holding women accountable for this, or you're holding women responsible for this? Yes. Men will continue to expect these behaviors and outward appearances of all of us, regardless if we're attracted to them or not. Men will uphold that. Men are not going to change that. So yes, I will hold fellow women accountable for not participating in those games. Men aren't going to let us off the hook. So we have to just do it ourselves. We have to stop doing it ourselves. Period.